Hey, folks. Wow, what a crazy day. Tell you what, I'm gonna just give you a quick update here about yield, Bitcoin and Solana. Yield, that's funny. About Bitcoin and Solana on the market, are they trending or are they ranging? Well, on the day, if you look at the VRE chart of Bitcoin, you'll notice that the width of the VRE, or the height of it, the central daily range, is at about 1.11% of the asset's value, which means technically Bitcoin is having a trending day. How high will it trend? How low will it trend? We'll see. How much will it trend? We'll see. Solana, on the other hand, has a central daily range of, if I remember correctly, about 2.45% of the asset's value, which is fairly wide. And that means it is most probably a ranging day. And so far, that's what we've seen on it. Now, you compare the charts and be like, well, look, when this candle went down, the other one went down too. Yeah, but look at the entropy indicator and see whether or not the move is a trending move or a ranging move. And then look at the overall performance on the day, and we'll see where it ends up. Right now, the probabilities are indicating Solana is having a ranging day, and Bitcoin is having a trending day. So that's the quick update on that. So again, how do you know that? Use our indicator, our entropy indicator, to see whether or not the asset is specifically in a trending move or a ranging move, or random walk, that is, rather, and whether or not the day is trending or ranging. That you determine by looking at the VRE to see the height of the central daily range. And if it's, for example, above, if it's 2% or above in terms of the value of the asset, right? If the height of the central daily range or the width of the central daily range is 2% or more of the asset's value, then it is typically a ranging day. And if it's under 2%, then it's typically a trending day. Now, there's some gray area there in terms of, what was like 1.9%. It could still be a trending day, but very often you'll see that the trending days that have the biggest moves tend to be significantly lower, even lower than 1% or lower than 0.5%, but not always. Right? There's a 2% threshold for that reason. But that's not, again, we look at the actual entropy indicator because it's almost moot on whether or not it's a ranging day or a trending day if you're trading low time frames, right? You're not trading the daily time frame. It's just good to know whether you're probably going to have trending moves on the day and if the overall day is going to be trending, or if you're going to have ranging moves like random walks, and the overall day is going to be ranging. And you can have low time frame trending moves on a ranging day, and you can have a lot of random walks, because you usually do on a ranging day, on a trending day, whatever. This is not mutually exclusive, incompatible stuff. These are just tendencies. What's most important to know about these tendencies is that the tendencies of things like the volatility, right, and the correlation are what give you an indication of what the price action is actually likely to do. Why is that important? Because it can give you a very correct indication of where things are looking to go next, which is the whole purpose of trading. In order to win trades, you need to know leading information about what the probabilities are of what the asset is going to do next. Why does that matter? Well, it matters because the better leading information you have that indicates to you what is going to do next, the more probable you are to win the trade, and thus to increase your profits. which for most people is the purpose of trading. Now, that said, right, let's think about real quick, what is the purpose on a bigger scale, not to do with trading? Okay, what is the purpose of holding assets that are very volatile, like Solana or even Bitcoin? The purpose long-term as an investor is if you believe that the asset's value will go up over time, then you want to have an asset that you're holding longer term that goes up over time. It could be Ethereum, it could be Solana, it could be Litecoin, Polkadot, I don't care what coin, XMR, Onion, whatever, Pepe coin, whatever you think is going to go up in value. Personally, I don't like to have too many things that I'm holding of different varieties. I like to have a relatively small number of things, but not just one thing. I don't like to put all my eggs in a single basket, but I also don't like to spread them too far, because I don't think that generally is a good way to maximize the yield. The reason to diversify is mostly just to be able to swap in and out of different things quickly, to kind of put the eggs in one basket, but not all, and then move that around from one basket to the next. There's a good reason to, right? Like if I see that, I'm going to be trading Solana, but then I want to stack them into Bitcoins at the end of the day or the week or the month or whatever. I typically don't wait a week or a month. I typically do things on the day. Let's say I want, I'm trading Solana today. End of the day, I want to have more Bitcoin in my stack. So I'll trade my Solana against Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, or against dollars. And whatever profits I generate, I'll convert whatever portion I need into Bitcoins and stack those portions of Bitcoins into the Bitcoin wallets. And then if I'm putting any of it into a stable coin, so I'll put it in a stable coin. If I'm putting any of it, just keeping it as Solana, and then I'll just keep that as Solana, right? So I don't want to have 100 different coins because it's annoying. And also, if you've ever had 100 coins, I sure have done things like that where I had probably well over 100 coins at one time of different kinds. The annoying part is also the time it takes to manage them all, and the sheer volatility, especially of the smaller ones, can be so extreme that you might have $500 worth of something one day, it might be worth $50 the next day or something, and then by the time you try to take out whatever's left, it might not even be possible given transaction fees or minimum balances required or whatever it might be, right? Like on XRP, you have to have 10, I think it's like 10 XRP or 20 XRP. There's some minimum amount of XRP you have to have in some wallet. So if you forgot about some XRP wallet and you suddenly want to, empty it, and you only have 50 XRP in there or something, you got to remember 20 or whatever the number is, with some minimum amount of them are going to stay in that wallet. And you can get most of them out if you reset your keys or, basically reset your wallet. And then you send 8 of them or 60, whatever. You send 80% of your minimum to whatever wallet can accept them. And then they keep 2, right? The XRP software keeps 2 of them or 20% of the minimum. Which again is just, it's mostly just annoying, because what it means is you can't, as far as I know, I've never done it. I've never emptied out an XRP wallet completely, right? So whatever the minimum is, if it's 10 or 20 or 50, whatever, I always have something in there that's more than that. and I can't, I could never empty out the whole wallet because you're going to have to leave some minimum in there. And so if you want to swap, let's say, all of your XRP, you want to get rid of all of it, I'm not even sure how you could do that, because you can't swap it for like USDT or USDC or Bitcoin. When you're emptying the wallet, all you can do is send it to another XRP wallet, as far as I know. I may be wrong about that, by the way, chat. If you know I'm wrong about that, by all means, let me know. But last time I checked, you can't actually convert your very last XRPs into anything. You have to keep your minimum reserve, and best you can do is send it to another XRP wallet, which means, you can swap those last XRPs into something else, but only if it's sent to another wallet that already has the minimum. So there's always going to be some wallet you have with XRP, and once you open an XRP wallet, you can never fully close your XRP wallet, which is just whatever. I mean, small. We're talking like $5. It's not a big deal, but it's it's there's some minimum amount, and whenever that number or value of XRP grows, if it ever reaches, many dollars, I don't know if it ever will. If it ever reaches many dollars, that could be thousands of dollars that you can never touch, which is, frankly ludicrous. I mean, we're very, very, very far from that right now, and it may never happen, right? But it could, maybe someday, who knows? Maybe the tokenomics will change. Maybe they'll burn 90% of their coins or something, and there'll only be, 10% of what's now existing in circulation available, and maybe that will, skyrocket the price. Who knows what, right, can happen in the next 5, 10, 20 years. Anything can happen. But it's silly that there's a minimum based on the number of XRPs and not a dollar value or something. I mean, it makes sense to have a crypto value there, but that crypto value should probably be scalable along with the price of the XRP, so you never lose more than a couple, bucks. You never have to leave more than a couple bucks in a wallet, because it just seems silly, right? Like 5 years ago, 10 years, when you started, if you started having an XRP wallet 8 years ago, whatever, it was like, I don't know, $50 when it was at an all-time high, right? You had to keep 20 of them in there, maybe $100, whatever the number was. Now it's only like $5. The price of XRP is relatively cheap, right? But it can go back up to that, and then you got a minimum again of $50 in there that you can't touch, which is just silly. Now, again, it's not to complain about the $50 or the $5, but it's what happens if XRP goes up to hundreds of dollars per coin, which may never happen again, but there's certainly people who think it will. And if they were to dissolve, or burn, 90% or more of the coins, which again is a possibility, then that would significantly increase the price of each coin, and in theory, and leave the average holder who has a very minimum, who might have a minimum amount in their balance, holding hundreds or thousands of dollars worth of XRP that they can never touch, which just seems a bit insane to me. But maybe that's not even the way it is right now anymore. I just know that there is a minimum that you can't take more up. Anyway, but enough about XRP. I've spoken too much about it. The point of why would you hold any of these volatile assets, right? Again, that's one reason I don't want to have 100 assets or more in crypto in my possession at any given time, is because swapping the values back and forth, yeah, sure, you can play arbitrage games, you can, swap them all day and, make some nice juice from that. If you have, a good set that are fairly volatile and that do the opposite of what you should do. But it's a lot to manage in terms of like trading. You may as well then set up your own exchange at that point, like half jokingly. If you've got hundreds of assets and in even modest amounts, like you may as well set up a modest little exchange, even a decentralized one, right? And just start offering your liquidity for people to come and trade against, right? It's just there's a lot of silly things happening when it comes to people holding lots and lots of different coins, whether it's meme coins or whatever. And you're not typically going to see significant growth just by spreading everything extremely thin. Like, yes, you might see great returns on an asset, but if only 0.0001% of your assets are in that coin, how much are you going to make? Even if it goes up 1,000x, you're going to have increased your portfolio by 1%. You know, so you're better off, in my opinion, and I'm probably wrong. Okay, I'm almost surely wrong, but the way I see it is if you hold a more consolidated portfolio, it's easier to manage. And yes, you might not get the ultimate optimal returns because you'll have fewer assets overall. But if the assets you have are among the strongest assets, you'll see generally decent returns if you know how to trade them, or if you're just holding them over time without having to worry about what's going to happen to this tiny little coin. It might just disappear overnight. The team might just fade away, and you never hear from them again, and they're gone. And then what happens to your coin? Inevitably, and I've certainly seen this happen to a bunch of coins, even some that I've held, not many, but some, where they just literally disappear. And the coins that you had go to zero eventually, sometimes within minutes, sometimes within hours or days, sometimes within weeks or months. But inevitably, those coins where the teams just disappear, it's getting rugged, right? And like a rug pull, as they call it, which basically means it's a scam, right? The team scammed the community and withdrew all the funds and made the coin illiquid, and therefore the coins have no value, and therefore whatever you were holding of it has no value, and therefore your money's gone, essentially. So there's no point in doing that, right? You're better holding coins that you can more easily track, that you will more easily track, and that, even if you set up notifications on 1,000 of these little coins that you're following or whatever, you're not going to get all of them. You're not going to be able to respond to all of them. What if you're out getting groceries one day and you get a message that so-and-so team rugged or disappeared or project closed for whatever other reason? Are you literally going to be able, from your phone, to be able to get all your funds immediately? Maybe you will, right? Maybe you have all of your coins set up in such a way on whatever wallets that you can immediately swap when the bad news hits. But by the time you get the bad news, it's usually too late, right? You need to be active in the community. You need to be doing that. And you can't be actively involved in 1,000 communities. Nobody has that kind of time. It doesn't exist. Like, nobody is awake nobody has more than 24 hours in a day, right? So even if you're in 1,000 communities, it doesn't mean you're actually active in all of them. It's certainly not equally, right? You might have spam bots that go into each community and send messages for you daily, but that doesn't mean you're actually active, right? You don't actually know the ins and outs of what's happening. And sometimes it's easier to trade or hold something that you don't need to be active in the community, like Bitcoin, even like Ethereum, like Litecoin, like all these big coins where they just are big coins relatively, and you don't need to be active in any community to know whether or not Litecoin or Solana or XRP or Monero or whatever are going to go up and down in value, right? You just need to be able to read the VEPs correctly and then trade it correctly and not worry about having 10,000 little, lame coins that are mostly illiquid and are most probably going to go to zero, right? I see way too many people holding on to things that go to zero because they're bad projects. So that's my only suggestion, is if you have a lot of coins, really spend some time evaluating if they're good for you to hold and decide for yourself. I'm not going to tell you whether or not you should dump a coin or not, but make sure that you evaluate whether or not you're making the right decision holding on to so many when you could be holding on to a far fewer number that might actually be easier to manage and get you more potential gains, or get you more gains that you actually actualize, right? Or as an investor, if you're just holding it for the long term, having a smaller amount of coin, like smaller differentiation or variety of coins, but with a larger stack in each one, can get you probably more gains. And again, I'm not saying just have one or two things. Yeah, diversify if you want, whatever. Some people go all in on one thing. Okay, fine, that's your thing. I think is there's an argument for all kinds of ways to do this. I'm not giving you advice on how to do this. I'm just expressing my thoughts about this. That, you know, I see a lot of people having problems with managing way too many, what appear to be way too many tokens, like literally thousands, right? And so, or even hundreds or dozens. And it could be too much. It can be overwhelming. People don't know what they even have. Even if they have it all in a spreadsheet, they forget what that thing is that they wrote down in row 348. They don't remember that token. And by the time they go to visit it again, they see, oh, it just doesn't even exist anymore. They haven't looked at it in a year and a half. You know, it's not fun to be in that situation. It's better to have coins that you know are actually active and liquid, have serious markets trading it, where you can actually make gains if you want to trade them, or just make gains long term, more likely if you're just going to stack and hold, stack and hold, stack and hold, and stay aware of those, you know, small number, relatively small or manageable, whatever that number is for you, manageable number of assets. Maybe you're great at managing 1,000 assets. I don't know. You know, I think most people aren't. It's just not realistic for most people. Anyway, that's my thoughts about that. Remember, if you want to join the Alpha Trading live stream, just go to the Alpha Trading Discord. It starts at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. So just go to alphatradinghq.com/Discord. Again, that's alphatradinghq.com/Discord. And you can request your free access to our volatility indicators when you're in there, and you can learn how to trade volatility for free, completely free. We're not going to sell you anything. You know, the pro package that we do have that people can purchase, you can't get when you come to our server. We're not going to give you access. Even if you say, hey, please, I really want it. No, we're not. You need to learn how to trade with the basics for free before you can get access even to our free trial of the paid package. Because we're not going to give you a sports car to drive if you can't even drive a regular car first. So that's what I have to say about that. Hope to see you guys in the live stream in the Discord, and if not, then on Rumble. That's it. Take care. Happy trading.